Hey EXP agents, Levi Lassick here. And if you've been thinking about getting your YouTube channel started, or you started a YouTube channel and it's not producing the results that you're looking for, or you've had a YouTube channel for a little while and you feel like it's plateaued or it's a little stagnant, well, join me in the Elevate coaching program for 6 weeks. I'm going to be walking you through everything that we've done over the last 3 years that has helped my team generate over $200 million in closed business. And look, I had not filmed real estate videos before. I didn't even have a real estate brand. 3 years ago, I wasn't even in the business. So I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch or improve what you are working on, and how you can do this without fancy equipment. I did everything on an iPhone, or I guess an Android, that would work too. And how I did this with really no video experience and also zero personal brand. So if that's of interest to you, sign up below, get on the Elevate coaching program. Over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be walking you through everything you need to start your YouTube channel or get it off the ground. Let's go.
Hey there, Nolly Williams here, author of the national bestseller, Success with Listings. I am super excited for eXp Elevate Coaching and our new complete course. It's 12 weeks where you're going to learn lead generation mastery. That's right, 10 listings a month. What would your life look like with another 3, 5, or even 10 listings a month? Well, I'm going to teach you how to do it. I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in real estate, and I'm going to teach you how to duplicate that success. eXp Elevate Coaching, make sure you sign up for the master course, and I'll see you there.
Hey there, Coach Carrie Soave here with eXp Elevate. Got leads? Perfect. But let's get real. Leads are just numbers unless you know how to connect, convert, and handle those objections like a pro. In just a few weeks, we're going deep into mastering authentic communication, how to really talk, really listen, and really close, because all the leads in the world won't matter if you can't cook what you've caught. We kick off in just a few weeks. Perfect timing for boosting your spring and your summer production. Transform how you interact, how you sell, and how you succeed. Don't just chase the game, change it. I want you to bet on yourself. Save your seat today. Let's impact your pipeline and fire up your results. I'll see you there.
It's finally here, guys. In partnership with eXp Realty, I've built an AI program specifically for eXp agents, okay? And you are going to learn how to grow your business, make more money, save time so that you can live the life that you want. You are going to be an AI-powered agent when I'm done with you. Did I mention that this program is 100% live? You need to make sure you register now.
Hey guys, I am so excited to have you at Listing Appointment Mastery. You've been working on this now for months, literally, and it's based on exactly the steps before the appointment, during the appointment, after the appointment, and the nuances that make an excellent, masterful listing presentation versus everybody else. It's based on exactly how I went from having no market share in listings to literally becoming the #1 lister across San Diego County since 2016. And I am going to put it all out there for you so that you and the rest of our eXp family can continue to dominate the real estate world. So I'm excited to have you in the course. I am going all out on it, and I'll see you inside.
Hey there, I'm Russ Laggan. I am your host today for the Big Agent Meeting. And Carrie, you're here already too. Every once in a while, we get a surprise when we open up the show. So with that said, it is Friday, May 31st. Holy crow, May 31st flew right by. And guess what comes up tomorrow? June 1st. It is the beginning of summer. I hope you guys are enjoying the summer starting up right now. I hope you're enjoying the good weather. I hope you're enjoying some sunshine and some time with your family. I think that's one of the best parts about summer is summer is a time to reconnect to your people, which I think is a great time of year to do that. So with that said, we've got some really amazing things that already happened this week. I don't know if you guys caught that. Brand new intro before this promoting Elevate coaching. So if you guys caught one of those snippets of videos, we got talking about listing and talking about AI and talking about YouTube and talking about other ways of doing listings and doing the listing conversation. Elevate coaching is starting to open up now. So if you guys want to jump in on that, make sure you hit that up. Hit it up in eXp Workplace and type in Elevate coaching, and it'll give you connections and contacts, and frequently asked questions will probably be in there too. So you guys can get access to that. In addition to that, yesterday, NAR conversation, Leo Pareja, Holly Mabry, and Kendall Bonner had a long conversation about NAR and the shifts and things that are going on. They were doing some Q&A. You guys asked some questions. They were giving you guys answers. That's also going to be on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see what's most updated recent info for NAR, jump on the YouTube channel. Make sure, of course, you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you'll get a notification when something cool comes out that you guys need to see. So with that said, we've got two amazing guests today. We're going to start off with Nadia Habib, who is our Senior Vice President of Growth for Canada. Super excited to have a conversation with her. Then Bryon Ellington and I are going to have a quick conversation. There's some cool stuff going on at eXp. And then Bryon's going to have a conversation with Carrie Soave, AI agent extraordinaire, talking about what she does and how she does it and some of the things you can do to take your business to the next level in this changing market. So with that said, let's dive right on in here. This is somebody that I really like chatting with, and I never get to chat with her enough. Nadia Habib, come on down.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm excited to see you today. We don't talk enough.
I know. And especially like the time is just flying by. Like you were saying, May 31st. I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, yes, it is May 31st.
Yeah, it's like, when was the last time you and I saw each other face to face? That was what? eXpCON or
was it Dallas? No. Oh my God, that was a long time.
It's been a while, yeah. Well, the good news is, congratulations, by the way, Senior VP. So I love that.
Thank you. That's
absolutely well deserved.
Thank you.
Couldn't be a better person to have that role for Canada. So let's talk some Canada.
Oh my God, it's so exciting.
eXpCON Canada, you just had that. That's cool.
It was an amazing turnout. This is the second year that we've had eXpCON Canada, and the turnout was unbelievable. We sold out of tickets. And it's just, you look at it, and this is why, like, I would love to invite for our next year, more and more agents to come to the event. It's such an intimate event because of the number of agents. I mean, we had about 750 leadership executives. They were all, engaging with the agents all the time. The information that the agents got in the breakout sessions and general sessions to take back with them was just unbelievable. So it was a really good, successful event.
Yeah. When was the last time you got to be around a lot of the senior leadership in an event with only 750 people?
Well,
eXpCON's huge. It's tough, and we're moving, like we're flying, and there's people everywhere. So good. Yeah. That's a good win for eXp Canada. Great.
I think a lot of people may take that for granted, and not just being around leadership and executives all the time. It's just like it's unheard of, right? And we had them, and agents were coming up and talking and engaging and just expressing what they feel and how they feel. It was just such a great event. I loved it.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing that I noticed for going to events wasn't the stuff you see in the show and the stage. And don't get me wrong, that's all cool. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. But it's the sense of connection that you get when you get face to face, and we get to sit down and we get to actually chat and be in each other's presence. There's something to that energy that I don't know, you just can't replace it. So getting face to face is important.
I completely agree with you. I always say, if you're able to take back one item of value, that is worth you going to the conference. And sometimes it's just a conversation that you have with someone, putting yourself in a room with someone that is, more successful, that you get to learn from them. I learn from these events every single time that I go.
Yeah. So there's a book I read by a guy named Sean Aker, and he was talking about happiness and so forth. And he was talking about one of the big things that is a precursor to happiness is feeling a sense of connection.
Yeah.
So like happiness actually comes from connection. It's a precursor to success, and happiness is connection, which is kind of interesting. And the more we do that, the better. And listen, for a virtual company, there's a lot of different ways to really connect for a virtual company, which I think is an interesting thing that was probably unintended, but it's really interesting.
It really is, because I think about when I was with my previous company for 17 years and being with EXP now just over 2 years. I know more people than I've ever known in the 17 years that I was with a brick and mortar company. So the engagement, the collaboration is just ongoing every single day, because tech allows us that opportunity to be more engaged all the time.
Yeah, I love that we have the ability to even just do this, right? Because this is completely different than just talking to somebody on the phone. And don't get me wrong, I love phone calls now because I don't have to have my vest and tie on. So this is great, but there's something to learning how to communicate like this and connect like this. So tell me what's going on in Canada. I mean, Canada's growing solid. You've picked up some big dogs in the recent weeks.
We sure have. With Canada right now, we're almost at 6,800 agents. Our goal by the end of the year is to reach 7,500 agents, which I think that we were definitely going to achieve that goal. One of the things that we're extremely proud of is the retention as well with our agent base. What we have in Canada is, we're on the ground with our agents all the time. We are constantly in communication with our agents on a regular basis. So doing, masterminds, doing meetings in person, virtually, attending their office openings, is just the momentum is really strong, and the collaboration is really strong amongst the agents that we have.
Yeah, that's something that occurred to me the other day when somebody said it, and it didn't occur to me until somebody said it. It's like, you don't have the NAR issues in Canada, do you?
We don't have the NAR issues. However, there are 2 lawsuits that are already filed. We're named in one of them, and they're filed against everybody that is any brokerage, any office, any board, all the boards across Canada. But there's a huge difference when it comes to Canada and the US. So if we looked at what NAR wants to change or is going to be changing for real estate agents and search mechanisms on the MLS for the US, we already have that in place and have had that in place for a very long time. So to give you an example, buyer representation agreement, that's something that we've had forever and ever and ever. You cannot write a purchase and sale agreement without having that in place first. In the US, searching by cooperating brokerage commission on the MLS, we don't even have that. It's viewed, but you can't search for it. So that's another thing that we have, that is completely different. And what makes it easier in Canada is that in the US, you have multiple MLS systems. In Canada, we have one. So that's very easy to regulate, and it's regulated by one governing body, which is CREA. So, for us, I don't know the impact just yet, but it's not going to be the same impact as it is in the US.
All right. So I'm moving to Canada. I'm just done.
I think everybody wants to move to Canada. We want to move to the US because we pay less taxes there.
You're only like 16 miles east of me, so
I know we're not that far. We're not that far.
I can jump on a bicycle and be there in an hour. That's how close you guys are. So
cross the bridge.
What else is going on in Canada right now? Like what is up and coming for Canada?
So what's up and coming for Canada is, the growth aspect of it is really important to us. We want to continue growing at a healthy pace in Canada, which is really important. And that averages anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 per year. That is our healthy pace with net. There is a lot of changes, just like the US market is going through, what's going on in the market, lack of inventory, high interest rates. We have as well, needs for rental opportunities. But what we're seeing in Canada is that there's more government funding when it comes to new projects. So now, there's a push for that. There's going to be a little bit of an ease now with more inventory coming on the market. And it's changing all across Canada. And it's so interesting where immigration opens up. So right now we have immigration that's opening up in Alberta. So we see the focus is there's going to be a lot of movement in Alberta. Alberta has still one of the most affordable price ranges for individuals to purchase. And we're seeing a lot of movement within Canada going to Alberta. The highest price ranges still are in the Greater Toronto area, Greater Vancouver area. Those are our highest price ranges. Yet we see also in Quebec, because kind of Quebec is like its own little country. but that's where affordability is. However, lack of jobs in Quebec kind of drives the community if they're going to be moving there, but there isn't a lot of job offerings that are there. Unemployment rate has really moved down in Canada, which is fantastic. But, housing all across Canada, I would say most affordable that we're looking at right now is the New Brunswick, Halifax, Alberta areas. Those are the most affordable.
Gotcha. So what did you say is driving up inventory in Canada? Because I keep telling people, unless our builders get really after it right now, we had 2.1 million new households created last year and only 800,000 houses built, which means we have even less supply nationally than before. So you're saying government is helping initiatives to get housing built?
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're helping with the roadblocks, right? So a lot of municipalities create these roadblocks, and it's just old thinking. Yeah. So, they're trying right now to say to them, like removing these roadblocks. And that's what I think is really important. What they're also doing is taking, the residential lot, and they're saying, well, instead of building one house, you can build 4 units and still consider it to be a residential. However, now we look at, okay, what's going to happen with the parking? Where are people going to put their cars? So one problem kind of creates another problem. Sure. At least we're providing, and what we need is more affordable housing for rental units. That's something that we really need in Canada. My dream, and I will always have this dream until it comes to fruition, is to be able to buy a subdivision, develop that subdivision, and be able to build tiny homes on that subdivision. Because reality is we're not using the space that we have. We just need livable space, because especially today's generation, they don't spend time at home. So most of the time, they're outside working or they're traveling. Yeah. So my dream is to have the tiny home community and be able to sell it at an affordable price, but it's getting a municipality to agree to it.
I love that. That is actually interesting. It's like every time I see stuff on tiny homes, I'm like, can you imagine what you could do with that? By the way, there are some of those neighborhoods being built in Florida.
Yeah.
And people say, well, it's a trailer park. I'm like, no, this is a tiny community. It's a completely different animal.
Yes.
And the amount of creativity that goes into those is mind-boggling to me, fascinating to me, the creativity in the ability to use space. So
like when you see it on the videos, don't you say, I could live in here? Like it's beautiful. So yeah.
Get back to the simple life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you really need to be happy?
I think with any profession, now we look at it is get back to the basics. With any profession, with even our lifestyle is get back to the basics.
Yes.
Because that's what we need.
I agree 100%. Well, congratulations on the growth in Canada. I've been enjoying the heck out of watching it and collaborating. It's very few people love to have you as a coworker and a friend also. You're amazing. You're an amazing person, and I love what you're doing up there. So look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. Right. Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right, there you go. Nadia Habib, Senior Vice President of Growth for eXp Canada. They're doing good things up there, good, consistent, solid growth right now. And they've attracted some massive teams and some really, really heavy duty players over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So pretty amazing stuff they're doing there. So with that said, next up, I've got Bryon Ellington, Chief Learning Officer. He and I got a couple things to chat about. Bryon, come on down, buddy.
Good morning, Russ. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, by the way, 2 things I want to hit before you start going on awesome stuff. Number one, we are being streamed live on Instagram right now. First time Big Agent Meeting is streamed on Instagram is happening right now. And I understand
we're moving on up, baby.
You also did Instagram Live yesterday with Levi Lassick.
Yeah. So Levi, if you caught the promotions at the beginning of the show, Levi is one of the coaches for the brand new eXp Elevate coaching program. Yeah. And so his coaching program is on YouTube Mastery. And so yesterday we got on Instagram Live and gave a little preview of that 6-week program. By the way, that guy is incredible. Like 3 years in the business, done over 400 transactions, most of that through YouTube. And no prior experience. So in his program, he really just takes you soup to nuts. And you may not know this. I didn't know this until he said it. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world, and it powers the number 1. And so the question is, how's your presence? A lot of us, we don't necessarily love making cold calls, prospecting, and things of that nature. Well, what Levi's figured out is, every video that he creates serves as sort of evergreen content out there, like a fishing net in the water. You can catch multiple pieces of business from it. And so he's just built his channel living in Dallas, up in Dallas, Texas, to be just this juggernaut. And so his program takes you through soup to nuts. I mean, literally like video flows, scripts, how to shoot, what to shoot, how frequently to shoot, how to build your channel, how to even name it. Like he takes you through everything. So that program is going to start June 4th. Hey, look at that. Well, there you go. Okay. So if you're on BAM Show, there's a 15% promo code for you there off of Levi's. Starts June 4th. And again, it's going to go 6 weeks for you. Where you got him 2 hours per session. He's going to walk you through everything. So that's amazing. So you said there were 2 things though. What was the other thing?
We're streaming live now, and you got stream live. There's two different things going on there. So it's interesting how we're actually continuing to adapt that technology. And by the way, just for my own personal testimonial for Levi, I'm not super tech savvy. A lot of people are really surprised by that. Like you put me in a wood shop, I'm a maniac, right? You give me a forge, I can turn a piece of metal into all kinds of crazy stuff. But like computers, just not my wheelhouse, right? And Levi has a way of explaining it. So even me, I go like, okay, you know what? I can do that. So I can clean up, and there's the little things that you don't have to be a super tech nerd to be able to get it and start doing it. And it just makes his stuff makes sense.
Yeah, and really, this is just about developing your business. So, 2 great quotes for you that one I lived my life by. One I heard recently. So, I heard this quote: "Your ability to grow is directly proportional to your ability to hear the truth without running away." And I think, right, that's kind of slap in the face. Yeah, and I think that's partially true. I think the other part of that too is my old friend Archaeolochus, the Greek, who said, "We do not rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training." And I think somewhere in the middle of those 2 statements is the truth of things. Can you face the reality of your business? And then what are you going to do to train yourself up to build it to the level of what you want? And so can I share some opportunities for you all to engage in this?
Absolutely. I'm going to throw you one quote as a trade, though, because I think this dovetails beautifully with what you're saying.
Let's go. I'm a collector.
If you don't like where you are, move. Yeah. Not a tree.
That's a quote for real estate, right? Yeah.
Chinese proverb.
Love it. So team leaders, mark a calendar, part of eXp University, no additional charge. We started Team Mastery. So we did the first one last a couple of weeks ago, May 15th. Had an amazing session with Carrie Soave and Jesse Zagorski talking about attracting agents to your team. On June 19th, we have the fantastic Mr. Dave Kennord with the amazing Mr. James Nellis, and they're going to talk about hiring staff to your team, onboarding the right staff. And are you building the model for your team correctly to be profitable? And then we'll continue that conversation about profitability in July, where we'll really focus on profitability. But Dave and James are going to talk about hiring and onboarding staff to your team. That's going to be a fantastic conversation. Team leaders, the format is we bring in a guest expert on the topic, let them seed the conversation, and then we put you into breakout rooms at like levels. So a $100 million team is talking to a $100 million team. Good. And let you guys brainstorm what you're doing there.
Good. So that would be under title of Team Mastery?
Team Mastery, and team leaders, check your inbox. We're doing it that way. We're not putting the registration out there because we want to keep this exclusively to team leaders. We don't necessarily want team members or aspirational team leaders. We want team leaders to have this sort of community and forum. Newer and emerging agents. Kickstart is going to start again July 2nd. It's going on right now. You can always jump in the middle, go to eXpUniversity.com, and you can find the registration there. But July 2nd is going to be our next round of Kickstart. And I have a special thing. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, the new Fast Cap program. So this is going to be the foundation program for the university. There you go. We're super excited about this. So we are piloting this program starting June 17th. Now, the first 100 people who click that QR code and register will be in the program. First 100. So we're working with mentors, we're working with some of the sponsors, and we are creating this pilot program. It's going to go from June 17th to August 2nd. A high productivity program, right? This is not infotainment. This is not education. This is training. So we're going to lay out the foundational principles of building your business, help you build your business operation systems, but most important, we're going to get you into action. So first 100 people to register, it doesn't cost any additional money. We just have a limited pilot. And so we want to make some seats available for you folks for being part of us today. So thank you. And then finally, you talked about the eXp Elevate program. Levi's program starts next Tuesday. We have, Carrie Soave. If you don't know Carrie, so most of us, we have a lot of leads, but maybe we're not as good as we want to be at converting them. Carrie's program, Can You Hear Me Now, really just delves into mastering those communications and objection handlings so that we're not fumbling for words in the moment. And then Nolly Williams has 10 listings per month. That's Nolly's thing. He did 10 listings per month for 10 years. So he's going to go through seller lead generation strategies, most of them free or very low cost, 27 of them in a 12-week program for your seller leads to get your listing business going. And then Dan's got one coming in July that we'll talk about too. So a lot going on right now in terms of education. And speaking of which, I have a fun guest for us today.
I can't wait. I'm going to get out of the way so you and Carrie Soave can have a conversation. Take it away, Bryon.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Carrie, are you there?
Hi, Bryon. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm super excited about this. Listening to you guys talk about Levi's program, I'm really excited for that. I feel like, Levi, if you're listening out there, I feel like if I could clone your brain with AI, I think that's something we should do, is to get a hold of you.
Yeah, well, he just did clone his brain. His son Lucas was born on Monday, so so if you're out there, Levi, I hope you're getting some rest, buddy, because you got a busy week next week. So, hey, Carrie, I love your little tag there, AI and social media expert, because that's exactly what you are. So, Carrie Soave, folks, one of our Canadian extraordinaire agents, has agreed to be part of the new Elevate coaching program, and she's doing leveraging AI. It's a 6-week program that'll start not next week, but the week after, and it'll go for 6 weeks. And she's really walking us through. So I asked her to come on today to give us some tips out of that, right? Give us some freebies that we can go and implement in our business and start leveraging AI. And Carrie, let's start with this. So, like our friend Russ there, I wouldn't say a technophobe, but let's just say I've had my moments with technology where I wanted to fist fight the computer. So when you think about AI, was that your background? Were you kind of a tech person getting into this?
No, I have zero tech skills. It's funny. I speak all over the world, and I have the hardest time even connecting my computer to screens. When I tell you I have no computer background, I really mean it. I wouldn't be able to fill out an Excel spreadsheet if my life depended on it. And that is the really cool thing about AI. We are in the era of no code AI. Therefore, you need zero tech skills to use it. Okay. And all it is, you need communication skills. That's what it's really about. And as realtors, we should be able to communicate at a high level, let's hope. So we possess those already, and we're just going to use them to get what we need out of AI. It's really the art of knowing what to ask for and how to ask for it in a really clear and concise way.
Yeah. And so I guess one of the first questions that, as an agent, I have about and had about AI, by the way, I got to go through your program. So I've learned a lot about AI. And it's really helped me, and I use it every day, actually. But as an agent who really isn't there yet, why would I even care? Like, how am I going to use AI? What does it do for my business?
Okay, so I wanted to build this program, Bryon, so that we were using AI tools as leverage, because there's some agents out there that don't have the money to put into their business to scale and increase production, right? We can only get so far without hiring support staff, lead generation companies, marketing companies, video editors, like you name it. And that's how I'm presenting these AI tools in this program. We're going to remove the need for spending tens of thousands of dollars a month to scale your business. And we break it down into sections like that throughout those 6 weeks. So let's replace your need for a marketing company. Let's replace your need for video editors. Let's replace, you know what I mean? We're going to follow that kind of process. And in order to increase production, it's a really cost-effective way to do it, is to learn how to use AI properly.
Yeah, and going into it, obviously because of headlines and things like that, I knew what ChatGPT was, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my experience of AI, and that was probably, being honest, that's what I thought AI was. And that's 1 week for you in the 6 weeks. You're going into marketing tools, social media tools, productivity tools, and then you even do custom GPTs. So can you talk about, like when we were talking, you talked about the full stack. What does that mean? Talk me through what tools are going to help where in my business.
Like specifically, what tools? So ChatGPT, first of all, I teach it, and it's probably, I think it's like the first and second week of the program. And I teach you prompt engineering, and I teach you how to use it properly, because ChatGPT can replace a lot. So specifically your marketing team. And I want to make sure that the agents in the program are learning to use ChatGPT, which is the LLM that actually powers most of these niche products. Because if you have that skill, you can create anything. Do I help you with your prompts? Yeah, absolutely. But I want you to learn how to create your own, because then you're unlimited, right? And then, so ChatGPT is obviously the first one that I cover. I've got video editors, like I know we talked about, and everybody's really excited about the AI powered video editors, because video editors, actual people that edit your video at these companies, cost thousands of dollars a month. Like my mind is blown every time I think for my own business, and I produce a lot of content. If you guys follow me, I'm literally in your face every day, at least a couple times. That's a lot of content. And I use these myself to edit my videos. And every time I think I want to hire somebody, I almost want to throw up in my mouth at how much money it's going to cost. So I have tried all of them. I suggest the best ones. My opinion, the best one is v.io. So definitely look that up. It will help you with your short form and long form video, and just make it a lot easier to add that B-roll and that animation, and make your videos pop like a professional would.
Yeah. And so this is one of those tools that I learned from you. So when I do videos, one of the big things for me is, I want to read the script. We can't do that on a video. You look wooden. But some of the tools that you talk about, like they AI your eyes to where essentially it looks like you're looking at the camera as you're reading this powerful script. And then the backside editing piece. Look, my 8-year-old has figured out CapCut. I'm never going to figure out CapCut. I don't want to figure out CapCut or any other editing tool out there. Right? So having these tools that, in your words, are kind of plain language tools where you just kind of tell it, like in communication, you don't have to know, coding and things like that. Tell it what to do, and it does. It's just amazing to me. Question for you. So ChatGPT, I have a couple of favorites that I learned from you. Any good tip for us about how to make ChatGPT perform better for us that you could share right now?
Absolutely. So doing the whole setup properly, customizing your ChatGPT through custom instructions, which is in the back end, is one way. However, there's a new update to ChatGPT, and that's unlimited memory. Okay. So historically, like what we've done up until now is we've filled out these 2 boxes in our settings of ChatGPT. The first box is all about you and your business. You're limited to 1,500 characters, by the way. And the second box is the output that you want, how you want it to respond. And I actually give it my tone of voice right within that box. So it's always speaking and writing exactly like me. Don't worry, any of you that are in the program, you're going to learn exactly how to do this. But the new update is wild, because you can just have conversations right in the chat box and ask it to always remember everything that you're telling it about your business or your instructions. You basically are unlimited in your custom instructions now. And that means to me that we can fine tune the hell out of RG. Like I could sit there and train my ChatGPT for days. It could be so fine-tuned now. And and ChatGPT is always updating and rolling out with these new features. And I got a new feature for you. Did you know that ChatGPT has a desktop app now? And what's really cool about that,
Yeah, what's really cool about that is it's like your ChatGPT phone app where you can have conversations, voice conversations. It'll answer you by voice. You could talk to it. Well, now having this desktop app that has the same capabilities. So now you can be working on something on half of your screen and talking to ChatGPT while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you mentioned this, and by the way, when she's talking about customizing, I copied your script and then pasted it into the customization thing, where you kind of give the exact prompts that people need to teach it how to think like you as a real estate agent, and then you teach them how to further customize it by having a dialogue with the ChatGPT. Just an amazing difference, by the way, night and day from when I was plugging in prompts before, saying, act like a editor and make this shorter. Once I customized it, I was doing minimal editing afterwards. Whereas before I was doing a lot of editing on what it was saying, and just those little things make a huge difference. And for me, it's not just about the money, it's the time. It's the amount of time. Otherwise, I got to sit there and think about what to say and how to say it. And which, by the way, is why most people don't have an effective CRM system, is the time to build drip campaigns and content and things of that nature. Do you teach AI from a drip campaign and a marketing standpoint as well, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because our drip campaign should be highly targeted and personalized for that lead. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I have AI integrated into my entire business. There's not one piece of my business that AI hasn't touched. And that's that's the potential, really. That's the potential. I have actually a hot tip for you, Bryon.
Go for it.
Okay, so with your ChatGPT, even though you customize it and you train it to talk like you, still it can sound a little AI, right? And you know what I mean by that. We all read content or hear somebody's script, and we can pick out those words that are overused by AI. So now I just have a conversation with ChatGPT in the prompt box, and I say, give me a list of the most overused AI sounding words and phrases that are cringe. And it does. And I say, great. Now, never use those again, ever. And it has fixed that entire problem. So that's going to give you even better responses if you do that, Bryon. And it's less editing on your end after you get your results.
I love that. And I don't think I would have ever thought to tell it to generate that list for me and then tell it don't use these words. I probably would have sat down and thought about all the business speak words that I didn't want it to use. That is a great tip. You talked about prompt engineering, and when you and I were talking, you talked about the framework of prompt engineering. And it's not, prompt engineering sounds so techy and
oh no, you're frozen.
Still with me?
There you are.
I think we had a glitch in the matrix. I think, our artificial intelligence bots here had a glitch real quick. So I was asking, when you and I were talking, we were talking about prompt engineering. It sounds like such a techie word, but it's really not. And you have a framework. Do you want to talk through that framework and give people a sense of what that means?
Absolutely. And we need a framework because when we think of ChatGPT, it's a large language model chatbot that is literally trained on all of the information available. Like it has such a huge knowledge base that we can't even fathom in our minds. So how do we focus that chatbot on where we need to go? And that's where prompt engineering comes into play. And the first step is giving it an identity. So giving it a role to play. So you are ChatGPT, marketing god of the universe, or you are, or act as a real estate lawyer in Texas, or, you know what I mean? So you definitely, step one is give it an identity. The second step is a clear job. So as clear and concise as it can be. Usually it's only one sentence for me. of what I want it to do. And then after that, we're going to give it as much context, direction, and reference, and even examples as possible. Because the more we do that, the better results are going to be. And then I also have a final little step at the end. I reminded they can always ask me questions to clarify, to clear up any, so they can produce better results for me. So if it needs to ask me a question about the reference, about the example, about the job itself, then it will.
Yeah. And what I love about that is you're not only doing it for that one job, you're kind of teaching it you for the future, so that next time you come around, it's artificial intelligence. It's that much smarter at helping solve the challenges you're throwing at it. So, so you talk about everything from leads to caption to marketing tools, ChatGPT, all this stuff. But you also do custom GPTs yourself. Yeah. First of all, what is a custom GPT, and can you share a few examples of the ones that you're giving as part of the program?
Yeah, so anybody can create a custom GPT. I create them specifically for real estate agents. So if you think in terms of ChatGPT is wide and vast knowledge, a custom GPT is narrow and deep. I've programmed a GPT, a chatbot that's customized that will do a specific task or workflow or system extremely well. And I set the parameters extremely tight. And that minimizes the need for input from the user, because I've built all of that into the back end. I've created custom GPTs for listing descriptions, where all you have to do is upload the pictures of your listings and type in the address. And it's going to give you a full listing description that's full of keywords as well.
How many times was scared at the MLS entry field thinking of, okay, I used quaint twice, so now it's another. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
I've created them for social media, for content calendars. I've created them for scripts, for if you're door knocking or calling leads, or even if you just need to have a conversation with a seller about dropping the price, or a buyer about agreeing to pay you. How about that? I've fine-tuned these so that the output, like, you can't mess this up when you use it. You're going to get output that is at this level every time you use it. And that's a great thing about our program, Bryon, at EXP, is if you show up, you do the homework, and you complete the challenge, and you'll know what that challenge is in week 1, you're going to get all of my custom GPTs that are tailored specific to your business. They're like done for you. It's like a done for you solution.
I should say what Carrie built was originally this program. And then in the conversation, she was like, I have these other things. Do you just want to give them to him? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's just give them to him. And so we kind of came up with, okay, here's the challenge that we want you to do. Because these coaching programs, again, they're not infotainment. We want you to get after it. We want you to go have success with the things that we're bringing to you. And so Carrie kind of created this challenge. It sounds more difficult than it is. It's not. But if you complete it, she's just going to give you all these things that weren't even part of the program to begin with, like the listing description wizard, the real estate goals thing, and some of the others that are really just cool add-ons as well, in addition to the base program. All right, Carrie, any final thoughts for everybody out there in terms of like getting into AI? Obviously, go sign up for your program, right? But any other thought about how we can kind of ease people into the program, the AI? I mean,
I think people need to get out of their own way. This is, you don't need any tech skills to do this. You just need to start, and the sooner you start, the less far behind you're going to be, because AI is moving constantly. And the longer you wait, the more you're going to have to learn. It's just going to be way easier for you to jump in now. So just start.
Yeah. I mean, as an old dude, I was that kind of hesitant person, and now I've got like ChatGPT enabled in my Chrome browser. I use it on my phone constantly, and I'm also using these other tools that I've been learning from you. And they've been making a huge difference. Again, for me, it's about time and making sure that I'm focused doing what I need to be doing and not all the other stuff I don't want to be doing. And it's leveraging this tool, which is so, first of all, most of them are free. And the ones that you pay for are very inexpensive compared to like video editors and things like that. Just a no-brainer. So I think we have a QR code for your, there you go. And again, you're here today, so we're going to give you a 15% discount. This is going to be June 13th. We're going to go for 6 weeks. And again, we're going to take you through it all for social media, for marketing, for content creation, ChatGPT, and then all the custom GPTs that Carrie's created for you. Hey, Carrie, thank you so much for doing this for us. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to see what you and the cohort do starting on June 13th. And for those of you who are interested, go check it out today. All right, Russ, we are headed back to you, sir.
All right. Hey, great job. Interesting info. Carrie, always love the way you roll. Super, super awesome. Make it simple. Love that.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. All right. So there you go. Carrie Soave talking about AI. One of the things I love, guys, is when you get into what she's doing, it's simple. It works for most of us, right? So if you guys want to grab your business, take it to the next level, remember, we're talking about moving something. If you don't like where you are, move. You're not a tree. This is one of those things you probably want to move on to make your life easier, more simple. Just dig into it. See if you like it. I've actually been a little bit fascinated by it. Still a little scared of it, but still a little fascinated by it because it can save me time on things and help me create being a better me, which I like. All right, so there you go. So we've got a couple announcements here real quick for you. One coming up is what's trending on KGCI Real Estate On Air. If you guys haven't checked this out, hit this code, this QR code, and check this out. When you open that up, it's going to show you what's going on for next week. So if you guys want to know, preview what's going on next week, we've got Holly Kitchens talking about Facebook and growth hacks. You've got Ali Garcid. You've got Ruben Garcia. You've got Tina. You've got Glenn Sanford's going to be on. There's a lot of really great stuff, including Ricky Caruth. All kinds of really great stuff on KGCI Radio coming up next week. Click the QR code. It'll show you what's on the schedule. Make sure you stop by and check out what's interesting to you. All right, so there's that. Next up, guys, NPS survey. We appreciate and thank you very much for taking the time to do the NPS survey. I know you guys got a lot of QR codes today, right? So hit this QR code. Give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we're doing. Thank you guys for the amazing scores that we've been getting over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months. This year just been really delivering for you guys. With your guidance, we've been delivering more value, and I hope you found today valuable as you have the last couple of weeks and last couple of months. Lots of new stuff happening. And just a reminder, if you guys saw something earlier and you're like, but Russ, I missed the QR code, go to YouTube, hit eXp Realty Live, hit eXp Realty Big Agent Meeting, and it'll pull you up the library of the past Big Agent meetings, including today. It'll be a replay of today on there, and you can pop into those QR codes and grab the info that you need if you missed that. So again, like and subscribe us. We're growing our subscribers. If you guys are subscribed, it lets you know when we're doing something cool. So make sure you do that, and we will catch up to you guys next week. Stay tuned for iConversations coming up next. See you next week.